Hey everyone, this is Chad. Thanks for coming to Record Wargaming. Today we have a match between myself and Jordan. Jordan is going to be rocking out the Daughters of Khaine. It's first time on the channel and his first time playing them. So give us any feedback in the comments. Be greatly appreciated. Also, I am playing the Flesh Eater Cohorts, my favorite army, and haven't played them in quite a while, so they're going to kick off the rust on these a little bit. And now we're going to get into it. But before we do, like, share, subscribe, be part of the Horde. Here we go, folks. Stay tuned for the show. Alright, so we're going to roll off, see who drops first.
Oh.
5, tie game.
That's you.
Alright, so I'll drop first.
Well, unless you want me to.
I don't think it's going to matter because you have more units than I do. So, yeah, I'll let you drop first, though.
Alright.
We are going to be playing 3 objectives down the center line. So they are standard objectives, 1, 2, 3, dead center in the middle of the table. And you're going to get a point for each turn that you hold them.
Oh, and standard objective capture rules.
Yep.
Standard objective capture rules in AOS means most models within 6 captures it at the end of a turn.
And before we set anything up, that's where I decided to drop the Carnal Throne. So down on this edge in between these 2 terrain features.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I am going to play a Daughters of Khaine army. We're sort of just playing what we've got, but we've got a wide variety of units to play around with today, and we'll see what happens. So from this side, we've got Sisters of Slaughter, supported by a Slaughter Priest. Not a Slaughter Priest. That is a Khorne unit. She is a
Slaughter Queen?
Slaughter Queen, thank you, Chad. Slaughter Queen, and then we've got the 2 parts of Morathi. We've got the Shadow Queen and then Morathi Khaine over here. And also in the center we've got Witch Elves, a pack of 20, supported by a Hag Queen on a Cauldron of Blood and a Snake Lady. And behind her we've got 5 of the snakes with bows. And on this side, we have a unit of Doomfire Warlocks, and also a unit of Doomfire Warlocks over here, and then a Snake Lady on an altar over here.
And how many points is it?
How many points? It is 19 and 90. Oh, because we also have a command point and a Geminids as an endless spell option.
So 1990 total.
Yep. And we've got some flyers that we can summon on at some point in the game. Those are not a part of the list, though. That's just something that Keltnar gets to do.
Very cool.
So the spells I am taking on Morathi Khaine, she'll know Mind Razor because it's bonkers. The Medusa here will know the Withering, which essentially makes it easier for me to kill things. Well, same with Mind Razor. And this Medusa over here will know Steed of Shadows, which makes her faster. And one more thing, she is my general over here. And she has Gaiasa's Falx as her artifact, and the Circling Flock as her command trait, because I have to with Keltnar.
Alright, so this is Chad, and today I'm going to play my Flesh Eater Cohorts. So in the corner there, I got a Ghoul King on Terrorgeist. I have another one of those big guys hanging out down there. Then I got a bunch of Flayers. So I have 4 units of Flayers. And each unit has a guy behind them. It's the Infernal Courtier. So I got 2 Infernal Courtiers. One of them is my General, which makes those guys my battle line. And then I have an Archregent, and he's actually hanging out there behind the Carnal Throne. And that is 2,000 points on the nose.
Archregents, they're the ones that summon dudes, right?
Yep. Well, both the Ghoul Kings and Terrorgeist can summon too.
Right.
So in this guy, kind of later on, I'll summon on probably another Courtier and then 2 units of Flayers. And with all these Flayers, I should mention my General here is Spike. So he's the only one that's like that. So he kind of sticks out from the rest. one of these things is not like the other. Now my general there, I took Frenzied Flesh Eater. And that is, it allows them to reroll wounded hit rolls on the courtier there. And I took, in general, Feeding Frenzy and Feast Day. That's command trait ability for the army. So with Flesh Eater Courts, you can take a generic, which is basically what I did. And then I took the Blood River Chalice for a artifact, and that is going to be on that dude over there, the big Terrorgeist. And he also has the mount trait, so he can reroll failed hit rolls for the Fang Maw. And then spells, I took Bone Storm and Blood Feast. So each one of the big Terrorgeists has one of those spells. And I will figure out which one in a second here. Okay, so if you follow along on this end here, I have Blood Feast on the far right-hand side of the table. And then on the other guy there, I got Bone Storm. So I have little cards on the back saying what's what. With all those drops, I ended up with fewer drops, so I'm going to go first.
Yeah, we both have a lot. No battalions.
No battalions. So I'm going to end up going first so I can get up on those objectives. Then we'll slog it out in the middle, see what happens. Turn 1. Flesh Eater Courts. So the end of Flesh Eater Courts, turn 1. Here's what it looks like. I basically ran everything up, got on the 2 center objectives. For now, I decided to sacrifice that one far objective because I didn't want to get too close to her. We'll see what happens. It's going to be slog in the middle no matter what. I got this guy up here. He is within 10 inches of everybody, so he'll be able to bring things back if I want. And I use the Arch Regent's ability to bring that guy on over there. So that is a courtier. And then in addition, on this guy here, I got Mystic Shield off. I got Unholy Vitality on that guy, but I did not get Black Hunger. So we're going to go into Daughters of Khaine, turn 1.
I didn't really do too much. I tried to get Morathi in range, and I re-rolled the charge just to see if we could start beating up on the Terrorgeist. Didn't quite work out, but we did at least get in range of these flayers here and get on the objective. So we'll capture that objective this turn, along with this one, which we are barely in range of with two of our Sisters of Slaughter over here. So we'll have 2 objectives. So that'll give us 2 points to tie us up with the Flesh Eaters. We had a little skirmish over here. We killed 1 Flayer and we lost 3 Witch Elves. So not too much violence yet, but there's plenty of more blood and murder to be had in this game.
Don't forget you got 2 wounds off on this dude.
Oh, well, sure. I did 2 wounds to that Terrorgeist.
And a wound to that guy over there.
Yeah. So the Terrorgeists are both scratched.
Yeah. Little nick. Let's roll for second turn. Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, what are you going to do?
I'm taking it.
Of course you are. Okay. Daughters of Khaine, turn 2.
So, Daughters of Khaine, turn 2. So I got the double turn, which this case was quite helpful. If you see down here, you see the Terrorgeist. So Morathi charged him, and there is no Terrorgeist anymore.
He did.
Morathi only needed, I don't know, a quarter of her combat power to finish him off. But she actually did take 2 mortals in return from him exploding. That's not nothing. And then the Witch Elves took some damage, I think, from the Flayers, but then they finished them off.
Yeah, these guys are out of here too.
I'm still on this objective, and then the Sisters of Slaughter are still over here. So, and I'm sort of in a somewhat defensive formation on this side. And that's about it for this turn.
Alright, Flesh Eater Courts. Turn 2. So so far you got 4 to 2.
I do. Yep, it's 4 to 2. But it's the bottom of the turn now.
Well, Flesh Eater Courts turn 2 was pretty eventful. I got out of there away from the Geminids because those were going to do some things to me, so I didn't like that idea. I came over here and I burned through 1 unit of his Doomfire Warlocks and put a whole bunch of hurt on the other one, so he's only got 2 guys left there. I piled in with the flares on the shrine and got lots of lucky saves, so I dealt 1 wound on it. I dealt 1 wound on it.
No, I saved it.
Oh, you saved that one?
Yeah.
So I put a wound into it, but he saved it, and then he actually didn't get anything back on me. So
Yeah,
that
so
was
it's a wet
pretty good.
noodle fight there.
Yeah, pretty much just swinging and scratching. And then I got all my flares kind of blocked up over here, so I'm hoping to get the roll on the turn, so I can get flying around and do something else in this battle here. I should go on. Oh, dear Lord. Yep.
No.
Okay, then. You're going to let me have this turn, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. But you do get to use the Geminids.
Hey, that's good news.
Yeah, well, not for me, but yeah. I am going to take the turn, though. Well, we took the turn, and yeah, it was good for us. So the Geminids first hit our lines, hit our witches, and hit Marathi, debuffing them. But I just ran away with the witches and sort of opened up a little section in here, and then I mind razored this unit here, the cauldron, and slammed it into the Terrorgeist after shooting the Terrorgeist a couple times and wounding it a bit.
And he is dead now.
And he is dead now, yeah. The cauldron just whacked him. Yeah, everything else sort of ran away to make room for the cauldron to push in. And over on this side, I summoned my Heartrenders and did some shots, got on the objective with them because... or Heartrenders or Life Takers? The ones with the javelins.
Those guys.
Those guys.
Or girls, I guess.
Yeah. So I was able to get the 4 up to let them move after landing the ranged attack. So they ended up on the objective. And I pushed with Marathi on the other side, made my charge. What did I...
And you did dispel the Geminids too, that's why they're not there anymore, by the way. But.
Right. Oh, I did fail my charge with them. That's right. I was like, I failed my charge with someone. I rolled 2 1-ups in a row with them. That was
Failed
fun.
and then refailed.
Yep. Or I failed Snake Eyes both times. So that was interesting. But Marathi got in, even debuffed, she annihilated the unit she got in combat with. I rolled pretty
she
well.
Killed those 3 flares laying there.
Yeah. Well, I think there was only 2 at that point. Because one of them,
you killed one of them with shooting.
Oh, right.
And then you came in at it and killed the other 2.
Yep.
So all 3 of them died this turn, yeah.
Alright, but yeah, so Marathi has killed them, the Terrorgeist is now dead, so all that's left is a few flares, and...
yeah, there's a bunch of flares, and we kind of math hammered it out. I rolled just kind of a couple things to see what would happen, and I would end up bringing the 1 flare back there. I would end up getting Ferocious Hunger off with my dude back here, that I totally forgot about, so bad on me. But it wouldn't be enough to get back in the game here, because he's going to hold these 2 objectives for sure.
No, I'd hold all 3,
and,
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I might be able to punch back at this one, but I might get this one back, but even if I did,
right.
You're already up 4, and then you get 6, another 2,
right.
So you'd get another 6 no matter what. So you'd be up 10, and I'd be fighting.
So you'd
for
have to
this
start
1.
winning really hard in the back half of the game.
Yeah, so there's no chance of coming back here. So we're going to call it there, turn 3.
Alright.
Ooh, that was a rough one.
Yeah?
My biggest thing is I forgot. I remembered my shooting throughout the game, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot my character hanging out back here. Totally forgot him. So there's 240 points wasted. My Terrorgeist, when he went down there...
He tried to dispel some things, or combine some things.
But he still should have got up into combat.
Well...
Because once he does that first initial trick...
I see he's a double caster, though, isn't he?
Well, he's great in combat. He is good in combat for a little character.
Oh, okay.
He can do a lot of damage. So leaving him just back there to do nothing after the initial thing, that was a waste of 240 points. And then my Terrorgeist going down over there before I got to bring that other unit of flares on, totally a waste. And this guy, I never thought you'd be able to wipe him in 1 turn like that.
Yeah.
So he actually didn't summon on his unit either.
Mind Razor.
So
it's a lot.
Basically 6 flares got left up in the cloud.
Right.
I don't know that would turn the game, but it definitely. I was planning on charging in over there.
Right, you would have at least had a fight with the Sisters of Slaughter over there.
Yeah, because the
which is why I left 10 plus a hero over there, because I'm like, I bet he can summon something on it.
Yeah, because the flares are good. I mean,
right.
They do pump out a lot of wounds.
Right.
So
I thought that they'd be enough to maybe hold off the flares, and if not, then at least they put up a fight, and I could contest elsewhere. But.
Yeah, and my strategy was to just try to go after these two, because I thought if I spread myself to all three, I wouldn't be able to do it right away.
So essentially, my strategy was essentially I don't know this army very well at all. This is my first time playing them, but they're not too complicated. But they have a lot of little prayers and things. They're easy to miss, which I did miss some prayers here and there, but. My strategy was I knew Marathi could hit things hard, and so I did that.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yeah, and the fact that she can only take 3 wounds a turn is huge.
Right. I mean, she's a massive bully. By Marathi, I'm talking about the Shadow Queen, because Marathi is like the Shadow Queen, and then also Marathi Khaine. She's like 2 aspects.
They don't have to be by each other?
No.
Oh, that's really cool.
I don't believe so, unless if I'm totally wrong, please correct me down in the comments, because this is a new army for me. But I mean, you just have to have them both on the field, and they're sort of connected to each other. You can't actually damage her to do wounds to Marathi. She's a bit easier to hurt.
Okay.
But she's neg 1 to be hit though. So it's she's neg 1 to be hit. I think she has a better save. I want to say. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. They might be both on 4-ups. I have to check that. But either way, Big Marathi is scary.
Yeah, she's a cool model too. That's one of my favorite models.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Except for the spear thing, like I said, the spears, they made these points and fiddly bits on these guys a little too much. But
no, I think Marathi is the best model GW's made personally.
Yeah, it's a really cool model.
And also, what surprised me, and Chad too, I'm sure, is the output of the Cauldron of Blood with the Avatar. I mean, I didn't even get through all the attacks on her.
Yeah, and he blew into the Terror guys and did 10 wounds on him just like that.
Right.
You know, he was done.
Well, I Mind Razor. The Mind Razor was the biggest part of that, because that, like, doubles her output.
Right.
Because she's got a bunch of, like, 1 damage attacks. You add a damage on top of that, and because I charged, you add a damage on top of it. And you also get extra rend. So actually that's more than doubled her attacks on her like little Italy profiles.
Yeah, and didn't you use it? So what, there's different factions of this army. What faction were you using?
Oh my gosh. Keltnar, I think, was the one I was using. It's the one that lets you retreat and charge, which has actually ability that never really came up in this game.
Yeah.
I never
you didn't have to retreat and everything.
Well, sure. But it is a very useful ability. It's something that I liked having in my back pocket in case I needed to sneak onto an objective at the end of the game if it was really close.
Well, and I was surprised actually how rusty I am, even with the Flesh Eater Courts, because that's my main army.
Well, it's during pandemic. Like it's not like we've gotten lots of games in. This is my 2nd game in the last year. So,
and like I said, I played a few with Heidi along the way, and then Ryan came over a couple times. But that's about it.
But it's good to be back. And the daughters are strong. This I don't think don't like copy this list. This is sort of we're trying out all the units, but
this was basically what I had gotten in an army from somebody, and so we'll be playing it on the channel. Jordan's going to be champion in this cause. So.
All right. Yeah. No. I mean, it's a fun army. I'm not a big fan personally of the Witch Elf spam, which is good because that's expensive. I think it's very strong, but like if I'm going to spam with an army, it'll be skeletons. I'm a death player at heart. But I love the models for the snakes and the harpies. They're great.
Yeah, these are neat models in general. They got a good look to them, for sure.
I probably wouldn't take like 2 shrines normally. I think the Bloodwreck Medusa, having an extra Bloodwreck Medusa is nice. I probably wouldn't take both of them. I'd probably cut this one right here and probably cut the Doomfire Warlocks. They're okay, but I mainly use them as chaff.
Well, they did their thing.
Yeah.
They stopped me for a whole turn
Yep.
where I would have been into everything.
That was my
else,
plan,
so,
yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put 2 lines of these, so... but I loved this. Even if I had like been better about the prayers, its prayers are extremely powerful, and it can also use other buffs and make your saves better on all your stuff. So that thing's great, and yeah, I'd probably cut the one with the snake, and bring, I don't know, more snakes for harpies. Those are fun.
Well, fun for who?
Yeah. Well, probably more fun for you than a bunch of buffed up witch elves with Mind Razor and Witch's Brew.
One unit rolling 80 dice.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But yeah, pretty fun army, and they can kill terrorists. It turns out.
As it turns out, yeah. I'm gonna actually have to bubble wrap the terrorists a little more than I normally do.
Yeah, I mean
against this army.
This army, so the witches. Daughters of Khaine, they're not especially fast or slow. They're sort of, I think, medium speed for an army these days. But they have a few very fast pieces. Like if you get the spell off on the spell that increases the movement on the snakes, they're pretty fast. But I probably would stay away from the snake anyways. And Marathi herself is 14-inch move flying, which is respectable. I think it's, the Terrorgeist are what, 16?
No, they're 14.
Oh, they're 14 also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the flares are 12.
Right.
So
yeah. Now, for 14 inches gets her pretty far. I mean, I moved her across the entire board in the course of the game.
Well, she gets further than the Terrorgeist do too because of the base size difference. So, because the base sizes make a difference on where you can plop her.
Oh, right. Like,
trying
I
to
can
get
be more
into
flexible
combat,
with
yeah.
putting her down places. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because the pie plate on those, I mean.
That was a big issue I had with the 2 cauldrons. I had to really stretch to maneuver that so I could get in.
Yeah, because they do have odd size bases.
Yeah.
Bigger, so. But yeah, all in all, great game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to do this again and maybe throw some other units or something.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Be
All
part of the
right.
horde.